galaxy was vast, cold, and full of rules written long before humans ever took their first steps among the stars. Alien civilizations had carved their territories like carefully drawn maps, and any intrusion was met with caution, sometimes hostility. Yet in the midst of these carefully policed zones, a single human warship glided silently through the void, completely unaware of the storm it was about to trigger. The USS Resolute was no ordinary ship. To an alien observer, it appeared simple, even primitive. Its hull was not sleek like the sharp-edged vessels of the Synthurians or polished like the glass-like ships of the Aurorans. Its weapons were visible, not concealed, and its engines made a subtle hum that betrayed its presence. But appearances, as the galaxy was about to learn, were dangerously deceiving. Captain Marcus Halloway leaned forward in his command chair, eyes scanning the starfield ahead. His crew bustled with quiet efficiency, all trained to handle emergencies of any kind. The human ship was on a diplomatic mission, a simple journey to deliver a message of peace to a coalition of alien species. But diplomacy in the galaxy required nerves of steel. One wrong move could lead to war. "Captain," said Lieutenant Serena Cho, the ship's communications officer, her voice calm but tense, "I'm picking up scans from an unknown fleet. They're converging on our coordinates. The readings are extensive." Marcus's brow furrowed. "How extensive?" "Over 20 ships, all armed and moving fast. They've activated active scanners. They've locked onto us." Marcus's hand hovered over the comm panel. "Locking on. Did we trigger anything?" Serena hesitated. "It seems we accidentally hit one of their scanning fields. Our scans may have been interpreted as a threat." A low hum of unease. The galaxy was no longer whispering about humans. It was watching. Every major council, every fleet command, every historian debated the same question. What are humans capable of? Stories of the USS Resolute's encounters had spread like wildfire. A single ship had survived against fleets, disabled alien warships, and vanished without leaving a trace. Humans were no longer unknown. They were a growing problem that could not be ignored. Captain Marcus Halloway leaned over the tactical console on the Resolute's bridge. He reviewed the reports of the last few engagements. "Every encounter teaches us something," he said quietly. "Every fleet we face will be stronger, faster, more prepared. And every encounter will make us stronger too." Lieutenant Serena Cho nodded. "The alien fleets are starting to coordinate. We're seeing reports of multiple coalitions forming. They're scared, and that makes them dangerous." Marcus's expression hardened. "Good. Fear makes them predictable, and predictable makes them vulnerable." Humanity's advantage had always been adaptability. Where alien fleets relied on numbers, precision, and strict protocol, humans relied on creativity, improvisation, and intuition. It was a trait no alien could replicate. Every battle became a test of ingenuity rather than brute force, and humans thrived in unpredictability. Engineer Tomas Ray adjusted the energy flow to the ship's cannons. "Captain, if we reroute some shield power into tactical energy, we can create decoys that mimic our ship's signal. They'll never know which is the real Resolute." Marcus's eyes gleamed. "Do it. Make them chase shadows. Confuse them before they even know what hit them." The first major test came when a coalition fleet of over 50 alien warships intercepted the Resolute. These fleets represented 3 different civilizations, each with slightly different technology and tactics, but they all shared a single assumption: humans were weak. They had underestimated the adaptability and cunning of the human race, and now they were about to pay the price. The aliens moved in formation, expecting the humans to panic or retreat, but the Resolute did something no one anticipated. It split its energy signatures, creating multiple false targets. Beams fired at the decoys while the real ship maneuvered through a dense asteroid belt, using gravitational pull to accelerate and redirect its weapons. "Status?" Marcus asked. 10 ships disabled, 12 more immobilized temporarily, Tomas reported. The rest are confused, sir. They can't predict our next move. The aliens were stunned. Their simulations had failed. Every calculation, every prediction had assumed humans would behave like other species. But humans did not. They improvised, they learned, they adapted in real time. And that unpredictability was terrifying. In the council chambers of the alien coalition, panic spread. Admiral Vireiken slammed his clawed hand on the table. How can one human ship do this? They should not exist at this level of capability. A council member, the Auroran diplomat Celira, leaned forward. They are evolving faster than we can predict. Each encounter teaches them. They are learning from our attacks. Yes, another officer admitted reluctantly. And their ingenuity, it surpasses anything we've ever encountered. This is not luck. This is intelligence, adaptive intelligence. Vireiken's face darkened. Then we have a choice. We can destroy them now while they are few, or we can wait and watch them become unstoppable. The room fell silent. No one wanted to gamble with humans. They were too dangerous to ignore, yet too unpredictable to fight effectively. Meanwhile, the Resolute continued to weave through the sector, picking up resources, salvaging alien technology and learning. Humans were not just surviving, they were evolving. Tomas and the engineering team had created modifications to the ship's energy shields, allowing brief bursts of overcharged defense that could reflect or absorb incoming fire. Serena's decoding algorithms allowed humans to anticipate alien communications before the ships could react, and Marcus's leadership ensured the crew remained calm and focused under pressure. "Captain," Serena said one night, studying alien communications intercepted near a mining colony, "they're trying to coordinate a trap. A fleet of 30 ships is waiting near the Zartan expanse. They think we will be predictable." Marcus nodded. "Then we'll give them a lesson in unpredictability. Prepare the crew. We go on the offensive, but on our terms." The humans moved into the Zartan expanse carefully. The fleet waited, hidden among the cosmic debris. They believed their advantage in numbers guaranteed success. But humans were not just a ship. They were a force of thought, of unpredictability, of adaptation. As the alien ships advanced, the Resolute executed a series of maneuvers no simulation had ever predicted. They split their energy signatures again, creating multiple false ships. Hidden ion cannons disabled key engines silently, one by one. Alien commanders were thrown into confusion, unable to communicate effectively because their own signals were being intercepted and mimicked by humans. "Status report," Marcus barked. "All enemy ships immobilized temporarily," Tomas replied. "Some are drifting, others firing blindly. They can't coordinate, sir." Marcus's face was calm, almost serene. "Then let's finish this before they recover. Show them the cost of underestimating humans." The humans attacked with precision and restraint. They disabled alien command vessels, leaving the fleet in chaos but avoiding unnecessary destruction. They could have annihilated the coalition, but humans were not just fighters, they were teachers. They wanted the galaxy to understand that humans were not to be ignored, not to be underestimated. The alien coalition retreated, humiliated and fearful. Reports of the encounter spread to every corner of known space. Humans had shown the galaxy that one ship, guided by intellect, courage, and adaptability, could outmatch dozens of warships. Stories of the Resolute became legend. Colonies whispered about humans who could anticipate attacks before they happened, who could turn every environmental hazard into an advantage, who could strike with surgical precision and vanish into the void. On the bridge, Marcus studied the stars ahead. "The galaxy is watching now," he said softly. "They've seen what we can do. They'll fear us, respect us, maybe even hate us. But most importantly, they'll never predict what comes next." Serena nodded. "The humans have always been underestimated." Now the galaxy knows our strength but not our limits. They'll learn, but only partially. Marcus's gaze hardened. And that is our advantage. Humans thrive on the unknown. Every species that tries to control us fails because they cannot imagine what we will do next. Even in their calm, humans were preparing for the future. The Resolute was retrofitted with scavenged alien technology, adapted to human needs. Weapons were redesigned, engines upgraded, shields enhanced. Every system became an extension of the crew's adaptability. "Captain," Tomas said, "we can now operate for extended periods without resupply. We can continue striking, learning, and surviving far deeper into alien space." Marcus smiled. "Good, let them come. The galaxy is watching humans now. They'll send more fleets, bigger fleets. And every fleet will teach us something new. Every encounter makes us stronger." And so, humans became a force that could not be ignored. Alien fleets moved cautiously when entering sectors where humans were reported. Councils debated the wisdom of engaging a single ship capable of overwhelming entire fleets. Historians began rewriting their understanding of humanity. Humans had not conquered the galaxy, but they had achieved something perhaps more important. They had forced the galaxy to pay attention. They had shown that intelligence, adaptability, and creativity were more powerful than raw numbers or strict protocols. Marcus looked out at the stars, calm and resolute. "We've made them watch, we've made them think, and we've made them fear. The galaxy has learned a lesson it will never forget. Humans are unpredictable, humans are dangerous, and humans adapt." The Resolute drifted forward, silent, powerful, and deadly in ways no alien could anticipate. Humanity had emerged from the shadows of ignorance and fear, and now the galaxy would never see them the same way again. The galaxy had taken notice. Humans were no longer a minor curiosity or an underestimated species. They were a growing storm, a force of intellect and adaptability that alien civilizations could not control. Reports of the USS Resolute's previous victories had spread to every major fleet and council. Fear, respect, and disbelief now accompanied the name human. Captain Marcus Halloway stood on the bridge, staring at the approaching alien armada displayed on the tactical screens. Hundreds of warships from multiple civilizations had united in one purpose: eliminate the human threat. The Resolute was small, outnumbered, and outgunned, but Marcus knew something that the aliens could not predict. Humans did not rely solely on numbers or raw power. "Captain," Lieutenant Serena Cho said, her voice tense but calm, "the alien fleet is coordinated unlike anything we've seen. They've learned from our previous encounters. Their sensors and weapons have been upgraded. This will be the biggest test yet." Marcus's gaze did not waver. "Then we show them what humans are capable of. Prepare all systems. This fight is ours to control, not theirs." The humans had spent the last few weeks preparing. Every system on the Resolute had been enhanced with alien technology scavenged from previous battles, adapted to human design. Engines had been re-engineered to allow impossible maneuvers. Shields could absorb, redirect, and even briefly mimic incoming energy signatures. Weapons could fire in patterns alien minds could not anticipate. Tomas Ray, the ship's lead engineer, adjusted energy flows one last time. "Captain, we're ready. Shields at maximum, weapons online. Sensors show no weaknesses in the fleet, but we've learned to create them." Marcus nodded. "Good. Then let's write a history the galaxy will never forget." The alien fleet moved in formation, vast and imposing. Their numbers alone should have terrified any species, but humans did not fight like any species the galaxy had known. The moment the alien armada was within striking range, the Resolute split its energy signature, creating multiple decoy ships that mimicked its movements perfectly. The aliens fired. Dozens of beams struck, but the decoys absorbed most of the damage. The Resolute moved like a shadow, weaving through the fleet with precision. Every attack the aliens launched was anticipated, countered, or turned back against them. Serena's fingers flew across the console. "Captain, they're trying to flank us. But their calculations assume we will move predictably. They don't account for improvisation." Marcus smiled. "Then let's improvise." The humans unleashed a series of coordinated strikes that left the aliens stunned. Hidden ion cannons disabled engine arrays on key command ships. Strategic bursts of energy disrupted communications across multiple vessels. The alien fleet's formation began to collapse, confusion spreading like wildfire. In the command deck of the alien armada, Admiral Viriken slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Impossible. How can one ship, one species, do this to an entire fleet?" Celera, the Auroran diplomat, shook her head in disbelief. "It is not brute strength. It is thought, adaptation, intelligence that anticipates and exceeds our own. Humans have become more than a threat, they are a force of nature." Viriken's face darkened. "Then we must destroy them at all costs." But the humans were already one step ahead. Using gravitational anomalies, abandoned satellites, and asteroid fields, the Resolute maneuvered with impossible speed. Beams fired at false targets while the real ship struck critical systems of the alien fleet. Ships that should have survived entire battles were now drifting, immobilized, or turning on each other in confusion. On the bridge, Marcus gave calm but decisive orders. "Target the command ships. Disable their coordination. Leave them alive. This is a lesson, not vengeance. We fight to survive and to teach, not to destroy indiscriminately." The Resolute's cannons fired in perfect harmony with decoys, striking the alien command vessels. Within minutes, the fleet was in chaos. Alien officers struggled to communicate, commands conflicted, and the armada, once vast and powerful, faltered. "This is unreal," Serena whispered. "They've never faced anything like this before." Marcus's eyes were steady. "And they never will again." The humans had won a decisive advantage, but Marcus knew the battle was far from over. The alien fleet would recover, regroup, and strike again, perhaps with even greater numbers. Yet humans were not a species that waited to be attacked. They struck on their terms, learning, adapting, and growing stronger with every encounter. "Serena, send a broadcast," Marcus ordered. "One message to the galaxy. Let them know humans are here and they are not to be underestimated." Serena's hands moved quickly over the console. "Message composed, Captain. It will reach every major system in the sector." The broadcast went out. Clear, concise, and confident. "Humans are not primitive. We adapt, we learn, and we survive. The galaxy will remember the name of every human ship, every human crew, and every human mind that stands against us. We are not to be underestimated." The response was immediate. Reports flooded in from distant fleets and colonies. Aliens whispered of humans who could anticipate attacks before they happened, who could turn environmental hazards into tactical advantages, and who could strike with surgical precision, even against overwhelming odds. Admiral Viriken's armada limped back to safe space, humiliated but wiser. "We cannot underestimate them," he admitted grimly. "We never can." And humanity had made its statement, not through conquest alone, but through intellect, adaptability, and willpower. One ship, the Resolute, had shown the galaxy that humans were unpredictable, capable, and dangerous in ways no species could simulate. Back on the Resolute, Marcus looked out at the stars. The crew moved with quiet efficiency, battle-hardened but not exhausted. They had survived, adapted, and triumphed, not because of brute force, but because of human ingenuity, courage, and unity. "Captain," Tomas said quietly, "we've done the impossible. We've fought fleets, survived, and left them in awe. The galaxy knows humans are different." Marcus nodded. "Yes, and they will remember, humans are not just survivors. We are thinkers, we are creators, we are adapters. We are unstoppable when we refuse to be predictable, and that is what makes us human." In the days that followed, the Resolute continued its mission. Humans salvaged what they could from the damaged alien fleets, learning from every system, every tactic, every failure. The galaxy watched with a mix of fear and respect. Humans were no longer an unknown species. They were a force to be reckoned with. Every fleet that had doubted them, every council that had dismissed them, now recalculated their assumptions. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were dangerous. Humans adapted, and adaptation made them nearly invincible. And the galaxy had learned, in no uncertain terms, that when humans entered a space, the rules changed. One ship had shattered fleets. One crew had defied expectations. One species had shown that intelligence, courage, and adaptability were more powerful than any weapon or fleet. The Resolute drifted forward through the void, its crew calm but vigilant. They had made a mark on the galaxy that no one would forget. Humans had shown that they were more than just survivors. They were leaders, innovators, and warriors. They had earned the respect and fear of every species that dared to underestimate them. Marcus looked at the stars, serene and resolute. "The galaxy knows our name now," he said softly, "and they will never forget it. Humans have arrived, and this is only the beginning." The stars stretched endlessly ahead, silent witnesses to humanity's rise. One warship, one crew, one species, humans, had changed the course of history, and the galaxy would never be the same. He ran through the bridge. Humans had long known the galaxy was full of civilizations that underestimated them. They had even used it to their advantage before. But 20 alien ships, that was a level of firepower that could destroy a human colony in moments. Marcus took a deep breath. "Prepare defensive maneuvers. Raise shields but keep the scanners active. Let's see what we're dealing with before they make a mistake." Far away, in the command deck of the alien fleet, Admiral V. Riken of the Zelari watched the readings with a confident smirk. The Zelari prided themselves on their intelligence, and their fleets were the most advanced in this sector. "A single human warship," V. Riken muttered. "They cannot possibly pose any threat. Engage warning protocols. We'll see if these humans understand caution." The aliens had studied humans for decades. They had dismissed them as chaotic, reckless, and technologically backward. Their simulations predicted humans would panic under pressure, flee, or surrender when confronted. No human ship had ever fought a proper battle against a superior force. That was why they underestimated the Resolute. Back on the human ship, the atmosphere was tense but disciplined. Crew members moved with calm precision, aware that their survival depended on every second and every decision. "Shields at 70%, reported Engineer Tomas Ray, his hands flying across the console. "Weapons online, but we'll need to conserve energy." "Their fleet is massive." "Conserve energy?" Marcus asked. "Or do you mean we're going to surprise them?" Tomas gave a small, confident smile. "A little of both, sir. Humans have a way of doing the unexpected." Marcus nodded. "Good, that's what we're counting on." The alien ships accelerated, forming a crescent around the human vessel. Their scanners probed, sending pulses that measured hull strength, weapon capabilities, shield configurations, and more. They believed they knew the human ship completely before even opening fire. But the Resolute did not respond the way the aliens expected. Its shields adjusted in strange patterns. Its hull absorbed and redirected some of the scanning energy. And the weapons systems. The weapons systems were more advanced than the aliens had calculated. "Captain," Serena said, her eyes wide, "they're reading us as weak. Their scanners indicate our shields are standard. But the energy distribution, they can't detect the modifications we made." Marcus allowed himself a small smile. "Then let's give them a lesson in underestimation." Suddenly, one of the alien ships fired. It was a test shot, a probe beam meant to intimidate the humans. The beam hit the Resolute, but instead of causing damage, it fizzled against a hidden energy field. Sensors on the alien ship reported catastrophic failure in the targeted area. What just happened? One of the alien commanders shouted, panic creeping into his voice. Our scanners, our weapons, they should have hit. The Zelari admiral's confidence faltered. Impossible, humans cannot have technology capable of this. On the human bridge, there was controlled excitement. Marcus gave calm orders. Target that ship, he said. Just enough to disable their engines. We don't need to destroy them, just teach them a lesson. The Resolute fired. The beam was precise, fast, and devastating. It hit the alien ship's engine array, causing a controlled explosion that left the rest of the alien fleet stunned. Their simulations had never predicted such accuracy and efficiency. Status? Marcus asked. Ship immobilized. No casualties detected yet, Tomas replied. Good, Marcus said. Now hold formation. Let them think twice. The alien fleet hesitated. Confusion rippled through their ranks. Humans had always been a wild card, but the extent of their ingenuity was now clear. Ships that were supposed to overwhelm the humans had been disabled by one warship. Admiral Viriken's face darkened. He had faced hundreds of civilizations, but none had reacted like this. Prepare full assault, he roared. Destroy the human ship before it can adapt further. Marcus's eyes were calm, almost serene. Serena, open all channels. Let's see if diplomacy still has a chance. No, sir, she said, shaking her head. They won't listen. They see strength as threat and diplomacy as weakness. Then let them see strength, Marcus replied. But measured strength. Humans win by knowing when to strike and when to hold back. The Resolute moved, weaving through the stars with impossible agility. Alien sensors could not keep up. Beams of fire skimmed past, but the humans dodged and countered, striking only where necessary. The alien fleet began to falter, unsure how to fight a ship that refused to behave according to expectations. In the observation decks of distant colonies, aliens began hearing the rumors. A human ship had entered a controlled sector and survived an encounter with a fleet. Some whispered about humans being lucky. Others whispered that humans were dangerous beyond imagination. But in the bridge of the Resolute, luck had little to do with it. Every maneuver, every shot, every countermeasure had been planned by human minds trained to survive against impossible odds. This is just the beginning, Marcus said quietly, almost to himself. Let them learn the hard way. Humans are never what they seem. As the battle ended, the alien fleet pulled back, shaken and confused. One ship limped away, destroyed but still sending warnings. The humans had not conquered the alien fleet, but they had shattered assumptions. They had proven something vital. Humans could not be predicted, controlled, or dismissed. The Resolute continued its journey, shields battered, systems taxed, but crew morale soaring. The galaxy had taken its first real look at human ingenuity. And no one, no alien civilization would ever underestimate humans again. Marcus looked at the stars ahead. They were calm, silent, and infinite, and yet the galaxy would never be the same. Humans had entered the stage not as minor players, but as a force that would shape the future. Course steady, Marcus said. Let's see what's waiting for us out there. The USS Resolute drifted silently in the void after the initial encounter. Its hull bore scratches and scorched marks, but the ship itself was alive, resilient, and more dangerous than the aliens had imagined. The crew moved like a well-oiled machine, each person aware that their survival depended on sharp minds and faster reactions. Captain Marcus Halloway stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the tactical display. A map of the sector lit up, showing the positions of nearby alien fleets. Reports came in from the communications officer. "Sir," said Lieutenant Serena Cho, "they're regrouping. The Zelari fleet is sending messages to nearby colonies. The word of our encounter is spreading faster than I expected." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Then the galaxy knows we exist. Good. Let them underestimate us no longer. Prepare for adaptation. I want every system ready to counter any tactic they try." Humanity had always thrived on adaptation. It was not strength alone that made them formidable. It was their ability to learn, improvise, and think in ways no alien species could predict. The aliens were structured, bound by simulations and protocols. Humans, on the other hand, were unpredictable, creative, and relentless. That unpredictability was their weapon. Engineer Tomas Ray wiped sweat from his brow as he examined the ship's engines. "Captain, we can reroute some power from the shields to the weapons. It will make our attacks faster and more precise, but it will stress the engines." Marcus nodded. "Do it. Stress the engines, save the ship. We've survived worse than overheating engines." As Tomas worked, crew members studied the alien scans they had recorded during the first encounter. Their sensors had picked up alien tactical signals, pulse patterns, and command codes. Serena's mind raced as she decoded the alien movements. "I think I've found a pattern," she said. "They communicate almost like a hive mind, sending encrypted pulses to coordinate attacks. If we can predict their pulses, we can anticipate their maneuvers before they make them." "Do it," Marcus replied. "Give me the advantage before they realize humans can see through their communications." Meanwhile, the alien coalition was not idle. Admiral Vireiken fumed in his command deck. He had underestimated humans once, and it had cost him a ship. The Zelari fleets were assembling, war councils convening, and every civilization in the sector debated the threat humans now posed. "They are primitive," shouted one council member. "One ship cannot be a threat to the galaxy." Vireiken's eyes burned. "Primitive, perhaps. Unpredictable, definitely. If we do not strike now, these humans will grow, adapt, and destroy everything in their path. We cannot let this continue." But even as the aliens planned, humans were already several steps ahead. The Resolute had scanned nearby asteroids, abandoned space stations, and derelict vessels. Every piece of data was analyzed, every weakness noted, every possible strategy considered. Tomas adjusted the ship's power systems. "We can modify the weapons to fire in patterns the aliens haven't seen before. We can create false targets, simulate movement, and even jam their sensors for brief moments." Marcus smiled. "Then let's show them what humans are capable of." Days passed, and the human ship moved carefully through the sector. Every step was calculated. Every maneuver was a test, a probe, a message to the galaxy. Humans were not helpless. They encountered another alien scout vessel near a dense asteroid field. The scout moved aggressively, assuming humans would retreat, but Marcus had a different plan. "Engage stealth mode," he ordered. "Use the asteroid field to mask our position. Let them think they have the advantage." The crew followed orders perfectly. Sensors were muted, engines throttled, and the Resolute became nearly invisible. When the alien ship approached, the humans struck. The attack was precise. Energy beams hit the alien ship's shields at weak points, discovered through Serena's decoding of their communication pulses. Within minutes, the scout was disabled and drifting, unable to send warnings. The alien species watching from afar were shocked. "How can one human ship disable a vessel designed to withstand fleets?" one whispered. "This is impossible." Marcus did not celebrate. "This is only the beginning," he said to his crew. "They will come in greater numbers. We must adapt faster than they expect." As the humans continued through the sector, they began to use their environment to their advantage. Comets became cover, abandoned stations became traps, and gravitational anomalies became tools for evasion. Aliens who relied on brute force and protocol struggled to match humans who used ingenuity, intuition, and creativity. A particularly dangerous encounter occurred when a group of Zelari warships cornered the Resolute near a collapsing star. The aliens assumed their numerical advantage guaranteed victory. Marcus analyzed the situation quickly. "Serena, send out a false pulse from the star's edge," he said. "Make it look like we're retreating into the gravity well." The alien ships fell for it. They advanced recklessly, expecting the humans to flee. At the perfect moment, the Resolute fired a concentrated burst of ion beams from hidden cannons, disabling engines and communications on multiple enemy vessels. The humans then used the star's gravity to slingshot away, leaving the aliens stunned and retreating. The crew cheered quietly. Humans had again proven that adaptation, not strength alone, determined survival. News of the Resolute's exploits spread like wildfire through alien space. Scientists and commanders recalculated human capabilities. They are not primitive, one Zelari officer admitted. They are unpredictable. They learn quickly. They improve after every encounter. Marcus, however, did not allow arrogance to grow among his crew. The galaxy is watching, he reminded them. We've won battles, but the war is far from over. Each encounter teaches us, but it also warns us. We must remain vigilant, adaptable, and relentless. Even the aliens could not understand humans. The unpredictable nature of their tactics, combined with ingenuity, made them a unique threat. The galaxy had always valued logic, simulations, and predictable behavior. Humans operated outside of these rules. They improvised, experimented, and never gave up. During a quiet moment on the bridge, Marcus reviewed the logs from their encounters. Each one was a lesson learned, a data point for the next engagement. Humans survive, he said softly. Not because we have the biggest weapons or the fastest ships. We survive because we adapt, we think, and we refuse to be predictable. That is what makes us dangerous. Serena nodded. And terrifying to anyone who relies on calculations and rules. They can never know what we'll do next. Exactly, Marcus replied. Let them watch, let them prepare, let them underestimate us. It will be their greatest mistake. As they moved further into the sector, the Resolute began to take on the character of a ghost ship. Aliens avoided it when possible, not because they respected it, but because they feared it. Stories spread. One human ship had survived fleets, disabled ships without casualties, and disappeared again without warning. Yet, the human crew was not invincible. Fatigue crept in, engines were stressed, and the constant pressure of being hunted tested their limits. But humans had a way of turning challenges into advantages. The crew trained in shifts, engineers improvised solutions to technical problems, and the captain kept morale high with calm, confident leadership. One night, as the stars drifted by, Marcus spoke to the bridge crew. We've proven ourselves to the galaxy. But remember, this is only the beginning. They will come for us again, bigger, stronger, smarter. And when they do, we will be ready. We adapt. That is what makes us human. The crew exchanged determined glances. They understood. The galaxy had seen humans once and had underestimated them. Next time, the stakes would be higher, but so would their resolve. By the end of their journey through the sector, the Resolute had changed the perception of humanity forever. Aliens no longer saw humans as primitive, weak, or expendable. They were a species capable of growth, unpredictability, and danger. And humanity had learned that adaptation was not just a survival tactic, it was a statement. In a galaxy built on assumptions, humans had shattered expectations. Marcus looked out at the stars, calm and resolute. We've adapted, we've survived, and we've sent a message. The galaxy will remember this encounter, and when they do, they will never underestimate humanity again.